Salima, everyone. Welcome to another Sidereal Astrology, Myth, Magic, Mysteries, and more, and whatever we kind of decide to talk about. So that'll be fun. If you're new here, do me a favor, like, share, subscribe. That helps other people find videos just like this one. If you don't already know, the first annual Sidereal Astrology Conference, the only one in the world just for Sidereal Astrology, not just Vedic, not just Western, not just Mesopotamian, which I don't think the latter exists. But it's the whole sidereal community. Okay, this is the first one. Is this September 27th? The link to register is in the video description, or you can go to our website. Sumerian. Oh no, sorry. That's a website too. Help Nikki. What's it? Oh, Sidereal International. Yes, .org. Still, the videos, all the links are in the. If you can't tell already, I had to go in and get some tea because I'm not going to make it. And my brain's already on meltdown. I did a lot today, getting my Sumerian language book together. I know that there are still lessons that have not yet been posted, but I'm getting them ready so that as soon as all the language lessons are posted on Sumerian.astrology.com, then I'm going to publish this book at some point, which will come with like a nice little workbook and everything, and that'll be fun. So I'm derailing quickly. My wonderful co-host here, the president of the International Sidereal Astrology Association herself, Niki Tenn of Revolution Astrology. We're going to be hitting up the weekly forecast. The sun is in Taurus in case
it's still there.
Yeah, we're not in Gemini season. We haven't been in Gemini season. We're not approaching Cancer season, like none of that. It's still, we're going to show you. Still here in Taurus. So.
Pull it up. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, visit our website and check it out. We have a lot of great information on there. We have a lot of great astrologers on there too. Check out their, check it all out. We've got forum.
Tell them who we have for the event coming up.
Oh, we have some great speakers coming up for the event. Athen Chimeti is one of the people who a lot of people who've converted over to sidereal discovered during, the 2020 fiasco we had. A lot of people got to stay home and rediscover
the fiasco
things about themselves. Yeah. And I was one of those people that was Googling and his stuff popped up. Yeah, so we're excited to have him on board to talk to us. Dr. Danny Einman, who just wrote a book, The 13th Sign. I forgot the name. But it's The 13th Sign. She talks about a fucus. It's a great resource book too. So she'll be with us talking. And Kenneth Bowser, who is also a sidereal astrologer. He works a lot with Mundo aspects, which I'm just learning I want to talk about so bad, but I grasp the verbal ability to tell you all about what it really is because it's deep and it's cool. And he's done a lot of really awesome work with predicting political stuff, transits. I mean, he takes a different approach too in his introduction to Western sidereal astrology. You probably can't see it, but I mean, he's got a great book too. Yeah, and I just started reading this one. I love his approach. He takes a real reality. He takes it with. His approach is reality based. It's very these are the examples of how this shows up in real life. It's incredible. It's amazing. We've got a great bunch of speakers. We have a great bunch of astrologers on panel talks too. I am jumping out of my skin excited over all of this. So
I'm super excited too. It's going to be awesome.
I know. We have Gary O'Toole. He's a Vedic astrologer who's going to be there as well. So we have a representation from all over the sidereal community. And though we all practice in different ways, we're all doing the same thing and it's super duper cool. Sorry, I'm just gonna just gush for you guys. I'm just so excited.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be, I don't know. Like I said, I know there are there's a lot of tropical organizations. I'm sure they put on events. There's Vedic events. There's, probably some stuff in between.
Yeah.
We're the only organization that actually brings everybody together. As long as they're sidereal, that's the only
catch. And it's been an incredible journey just so far, putting this all together with you and all of the entire group that we have. It's been really just eye-opening and fun. And oh God, I mean, it's just setting up for something even greater that we can share with everybody else too. So yeah, I'm just so excited. I'm literally, I'm caffeinated and jumping out of my skin.
I'm working on the caffeinated.
Well, every time we hop on these live streams, there's just something about being live, my brain's just like,
I think that's common. I think it happens to everyone.
Yeah, it happens to everybody. So I'm going to try to slow down. Breathe, take my time, not let the caffeine take over.
Well, so as far as this week goes, do you want to get into this week, or do you want to talk about the Venus Pluto square?
Oh my God, yeah. So everybody listening, I guess I was messaging Abby this morning because I'm like, I got to talk about how this Venus Pluto square has shown up for me, because I have to really, I don't want to call myself a baby astrologer. I mean, I've been doing astrology since I was a teenager, always super duper into it and trying to, understand the mechanics of it. And, a few years ago when I just started getting into reading transits and things like that, I remember having a Venus Pluto aspect, something come up, and I'm a little bit I don't want to say immature, but I mean, I'm just like everybody else. I'm a bit of a teenager where I'm like, oh, I wonder if this means I'm gonna get laid. It's Venus, and then Pluto's the dark god, it's I don't know, I just kind of did not know how insidious these contacts could be. So yeah, I don't look at those contacts that way anymore, actually, and they always end up.
Where did that come from? Where do you think that idea came from? Of
oh, that was just me. That's just me. That's
it's not anything. A Teen Vogue thing, like a carryover or something.
It could be. I mean, I think it was just me trying to understand how these powers really work. And when I thought about Pluto, I didn't think about the I don't know, the insidious side of it. I think of transformation and transcendence, and I think psychic abilities, and I think
I'm with you on that,
and sex magic and cool shit, because you think about Scorpio in that way too. I mean, I think about it like that. So when I think of Venus contacts, I'm like, oh, it's got to be friendly. Well, okay. I definitely wasn't as experienced, and I have had plenty of experiences since then to show me that it's definitely not. I'm not looking at it oh, I wonder if I'm going to meet somebody. Ooh, I wonder what's going to happen.
Well, and here's something to remember. So whenever we, I'm not lecturing you, Niki. I'm just saying the general audience and whatnot.
Yes.
I haven't found it, and if anybody wants to prove me wrong, you're more than welcome to put your evidence in the comments, or we'd love to have you on the show. But I have not found a single planet or point that will relate to any one element of life. So if you're looking for intimacy, romantic intimacy, or something along those lines, there's a few different places that you can look, but I wouldn't just write it off as there's one, whether it's Venus, Mars, Jupiter, whatever. I think that there's multiple places for it. And again,
yes,
I really think it depends on where are these things in the individual's chart. Okay, so let's just use this as an example. Let's say we're going to make the claim that Venus Mars coming together is passionate lovemaking. Okay. that means that everybody's getting laid on the same day. If that's the case, it's like we're having which is not clearly how it works.
Not at all.
So the general transits, I don't know that we can pinpoint those levels of specifics to them anyways, which I know I'm preaching to the choir here.
No,
but it would be interesting on an individual level to see if we could do that a little bit more. But to be honest, I've never found an intercourse like element in a chart. Now, that said, if we were to look at an individual's chart and we track specifically either the moon or the vertex, don't ask me why the vertex. It shouldn't have anything to do with it. I promise you it does. I just don't know why. I'm not even comfortable with why the vertex makes such a difference, but it's in there. But if we watch that minute to minute, hour to hour, what we would find is when we're having an intimate experience or any type of thing that you're looking for, you'll usually have some sort of trigger with the vertex or one of or the moon or some of these other things. So you can see it in the chart, but also remember, even the vertex, like you're going to get those hits every day, to some extent. Any of your planets' points, they're going to be having these interactions every day. We're not, getting tuned up every day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I haven't found it yet. Trust me. I have not found those special placements yet. I just look back and I laugh at it because the mentality that you have going into, reading transits. I mean, I kind of had to look back and laugh because of what always develops when I have these, Venus, Pluto contacts or I'm experiencing them.
So what does happen with you?
Oh, creepy stuff. Like weird stuff. Shit beyond my control usually happens. Usually something outside of my control that has something to do with like power or me. Like for example, last year when Venus was traveling through Virgo, she made contact with my natal Pluto. And that was when I chose to end my 25-year relationship. That was kind of, I didn't expect that, which I should have considering the circumstances. But I mean, I kind of knew. I was like, all right, this is what this is about. This time, this contact. But as she's come into, contact with Pluto and things have unfolded and you just find out more information. You find that there's more that you learn about yourself, like how can I handle these situations and not fly off the edge, I think Pluto can definitely give you power trips and there's definitely issues with authority there and how you bump into that. And Venus is like social, and I don't want to say she's bubbly and loving and all of this stuff. No, I mean, she can be feisty. So you really got to kind of watch out how it develops in your social circles and, your business life, because Venus is more than just, your relationships, like sexual relationships. I mean, it's your friendships, your family, really, relationship, all of it. It kind of all fits in there. But yeah, recently though, as it was working up to this square and it's like still fading, it's still in like that square aspect. I noticed I get these like dudes that come in who's like Pluto's, like they come into my store and they talk to me and their Plutos are literally in Leo, like go away. And they're asking to go to the beach or they're asking me out. And I'm like, you're like old enough to be my dad. Please go away. Please just don't.
Some people are into that.
Yeah, they're into that. And I'm finding them. I was like, oh, wow. So this Venus, or they're finding me. This Venus square Pluto is showing up in many like weird and insidious ways. So I was like, oh my God. No, I don't want to go to the beach and get oiled up by you, sir. Bye-bye.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Well, you never know unless you ask.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, I guess. Maybe that's what Mars being in Leo is about, like having the charisma and the balls to just go for it. So
I wonder what day, do you remember what specific day like the tight aspect was? I'm kind of curious.
I think it was Sunday. Was the tight aspect. I I think. I know there's still square, like it's a waning square. I keep my orbs pretty open.
Me too.
So, I mean, I don't know the exact date, but I think it was like around Sunday, Monday.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I never have, my life is very predictable and I do the same stuff and I'm pretty much happy all the time. So if something weird does occur, it's worth noting. I did have that one issue. I'm trying to think. I think it was Friday though, where the chain on my bike snapped. I was like 9 miles from home and I had to use my bike as a scooter the whole way home and it sucked. But I was actually very calm. I didn't, earlier in life, I might've been like, oh God, what do I do now? But no, I was oddly calm. It was nice. I have been oddly calm, but
yeah.
So, and again, this is evidence too, when we talk about this all the time, the transits affect everybody differently.
And how it shows up. You're absolutely right. I think about you every time I'm having an anxiety attack. I'm like, I bet you that she's not right now.
Yeah. Abby's probably having a great day.
And I'm like, I can channel this. I know I can figure this out. So yeah, it does affect us differently and it affects everybody differently. Some people just do really well with Venus Pluto contacts. That may be a really good time for them to take charge and take hold of what's going on in their life and be their own authority and make changes. And having written about it, I thought, oh my God, I'm ahead of the game here. I'm safe. I know what's going to happen, so I don't have to worry about anything. And then it was just like one surprise after another. And I was like, oh, okay, well, duh, it's Pluto. What are you going to do? Sometimes I forget that he's not that, he's a little weirdo.
I like Pluto.
I do too. But he can be a little weirdo. And I don't know. It's always a surprise with that guy. So
yeah.
I was pretty shook up. And I'm still like, I hope I don't have to run into anybody else that's just going to test my patience.
It's probably coming. It's probably going to happen.
It will. Yeah, you're right. But yeah. I mean, we survived it. Everybody survived it. So it's passing. Venus is going to actually be moving into Aries pretty soon. And we have that sign change this week. I don't know exactly the day, but we were already talking about it last week and how she's already in that,
I already would.
Yeah.
This Aries, but I know I'm in the minority.
No, I think you're right. A lot of people have already, a lot of other astrologers online have already started discussing it and talking about it. And, I think Venus, I've been doing a little research too, and I've been reading a lot of negative things about Venus and Aries that, like they're impulsive and, oh my God, like
isn't your Venus an Aries?
And then drop it. No, well, sort of. I mean, she's on the cusp of Aries and Taurus, but she's more on the like Taurus side.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, but I actually my Mars and Mercury are in Aries. So.
Oh my God, Nikki, if this is the whole bull and your Venus is right in the middle part of the bull, that's the stomach part. Maybe that's why you like the eating and the food stuff, the mouth pleasure.
Yes,
that's why.
Oh my God, I know. I went from being like a fantasy person. Okay, I fantasize a lot. I'm always in daydream land. And I fantasize about some fucking like stuff you shouldn't talk about. But lately it's been about food. Like, oh my God, like to be able to eat like whatever you want. The smell, like I have severe allergies, food allergies. Like the only way to get a good hold on my health is to be a good girl and just eat paleo, eat like I don't know, like how the ancient people used to eat. I don't know how they used to eat.
Ancestral is close as possible.
Yeah, just this most simplest shit. Like I can't have anything processed, nothing. So the fantasies have been about eating like a big cheeseburger and fries and having a shake, and like
Interesting.
I find myself just like thinking about food and how
long has it been
those
going on?
Foodgasms. Oh my gosh, I've had these problems my entire life.
Yeah, but like you said, you're noticing an increase in the like fantasizing about the food.
Oh God, probably it was when she started in Pisces.
Okay.
And then did her little moonwalk back and
okay, I gotcha.
So yeah, it was around that time because I was like, why am I thinking about that? That's so weird.
It's
I
interesting.
know, I thought it was weird too. But I still catch myself thinking like, oh my God, what would it be like to eat a Snickers bar? You know, put it in the microwave for like a couple seconds. And yeah.
I never thought about microwaving it. That's never in my entire life occurred to me to microwave a Snickers bar.
Oh my God, I know. Like I don't even think about I never did that. I've never thought about that. But I've been fantasizing.
That's interesting. It'd be cool to look at your chart and see what might be going on in there.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, what other horrible things about Venus though have you read?
Oh,
Aries.
Just impulsive. Like she'll like relationship stuff, you know, like meme stuff would pop up. Like, oh, she'll, you know, pick you up, sweep you off your feet. And, you know, those Venus and Aries people, they just love to charm the pants off of you. They get your pants off and then they move on. You know?
Okay.
And I was like, well, that might be true, but that's, you know, my Mars and Mercury are in Aries, and that would probably be more true for somebody like with those placements. And I'm not like that. So, well, I guess your Saturn placement matters, you know, a bunch of different things do you Jupiter. Like
I'd look more at Jupiter as far as how you're going to act out in a romantic relationship, like how you're going to try to procure your mate, essentially.
Yeah.
See, what's interesting is Venus in Aries, that was Demuzid, that was her consort. And as you for sure recall, Niki, from the mythology, this was her basically being seduced by her consort, and they there was a lot of plowing the field.
Yeah,
that took place. But it was a very passionate and like good, stable romance. So, but Venus was the one being swept off her feet. She wasn't the one doing it. It is interesting. I probably wouldn't say if, I don't get the impulsive stuff as far as Aries is concerned. There's definitely an impulsive energy in there, but you also get that with, you can get it with Leo, you can get it with Sagittarius. It just depends on the combination of planets.
The Aries and Tiamat and Pisces, all that's like such a really special area of the sky. Because I feel like there's just a lot of psychic energy in there. Yeah. There's a lot of like, oh God, downloads. There's like a lot of knowing, like purposeful knowing. I think just. In my own opinion, it's just kind of like what is source pushing you to do. They kind of, people with the placements in there, they kind of have this like knowledge that they know that there's purpose behind what it is they're doing, and it's intuitive, and they just don't know how or why it's coming to them, but it's like feels like it's coming from the other side, and it's like a good energy. It's a good feeling. It can be. Yeah.
They all have their
spiritual,
their good and their bad stuff for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I hate the Aries is the big jock meathead, kind of stupid stuff we used to read in like the 90s. I read a lot of stuff about Aries because that's what my tropical chart said I was. And I remember just reading some of it and being like, okay, am I like that? Am I like that, you guys? And I'd be like, not really. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure it out. So that's how I kind of knew that something was up with this zodiac system they're teaching us. But I was always very, very drawn to astrology. Let's face it, it's like a pagan, it's a pagan thing. We're all a bunch of pagan heathens just going after the stars, chasing them, because we know that that's where the answers are. It's in our DNA. It's ingrained in us. You know,
ancient. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to ask ChatGPT. Provide a brief summary of all the planets in the sign of Aries, so we can evaluate.
Ooh, yeah, let's test it.
Yeah, let's see what we got here. Because I don't know what like the pop culture versions of stuff. I know a little bit.
Yeah,
but like it's
I try to push that stuff out because I'll read it and I'll be like, oh, okay, that's silly. I mean, I think there's a lot of like creative potential there. A lot of socialization. You know, I've met a lot of Aries people who aren't very social.
Yeah.
But they're willing to listen. They're willing to be a part of it, you know, because they're curious. The curiosity gets to them. You know, passionate people, you know, outspoken sometimes.
Yeah, it depends. Again, we got to look at the whole chart, but just for the sake of entertainment, let's poke through some of these. So this is according to ChatGPT. This is not me saying this, okay, just so everybody knows. Sun in Aries brings a bold, pioneering spirit. These individuals often radiate confidence and thrive when taking the lead or initiating new ventures. I don't think that's necessarily true. I
think they're innovators. I think they're creative. I think they can come up with things and start things. But I mean, the whole, like, all of them can.
Confident, yeah. Like they all have their ability to do it. The confidence, that's a very
confidence comes later. Yeah, they talk about Aries and some of these as if they've already developed these. Like I mean, you were born the most confident human being in in Aries. That's great, but that's
you guys
usually developed.
If you're watching this in the chat, tell us whatever you have. If you have something in Aries, tell us, and we're going to look at it, because otherwise we're not going to be able to verify this. But we'll do me and Niki right now. I have my moon in Aries, and what did you say you have in your Aries, Niki?
Mercury and Mars.
Okay, so you have let's check those. Okay, so Mars in Aries is Mars at home, aggressive, fearless, and unrelenting in pursuit of goals. It gives strong willpower, physical energy, and a desire to conquer or compete. Patience is limited, but momentum is powerful when channeled constructively. Of what I know about you, Niki, you have some of these traits, but that's not what this is saying. This is basically the like overly assertive, basically me being an asshole most of the time, be like, no, like I'm going after what I want. Like, so that would more apply. But like you're exceptionally patient. I'm talking 25 years worth of patience.
Yeah.
Like nonsense. Like, you know, yes, you have strong willpower. Your physical energy probably, but you also have like pushed yourself to the limit. I know I'm like, you know,
I'm only
your skeletons out of your closet
chances, and that's it. You only get 250 chances. You don't
right. Desire to conquer and compete. You don't seem that way to me. You seem very cooperative. You want to find the middle ground. Like that doesn't seem doesn't seem right.
I'm competitive, but in a way where I want to take the group and lift them up. And that was really frowned upon in the hair industry because it's all one for all for one. Like, and I loved working in group settings and I loved like promoting that. So like I get competitive when it's like, hey, this is like about us and but
it's more like a game or a challenge.
Yeah. Not in a mean sense, you know.
Do you need long-term harmony? Maybe challenge. Oh, that's Venus and Aries. Hold on. Oh, there's a strong desire for independence in close relationships. That doesn't sound right to me. And emotional reactions can be impulsive or fiery. Sure. But I don't know if that has anything to do with, I don't know that. That was Moon in Aries. I'm sorry. Where was yours? The end. They're direct, self-reliant, action-oriented, but can also be impatient and quick to. Oh, that's Sun. Why can't I read today, you guys? I'm working on it right now.
Yeah, Mars. We're on Mars, right?
Oh, yeah, that's the one. Hold on. Affection is bold and immediate through long-term harmony, may be challenged by need for constant stimulation. You seem easily entertained, though. I mean, maybe a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, I do. I don't know. Like that was one thing that kind of bothered me about, you know, my last relationship is that you couldn't really say anything that, you know, you felt. He was very type A and proper. I mean, I talk not proper.
Okay.
And it was just very not much working for a very long time. Because I like to get creative, and I like to playfully talk shit, and I think it's fun.
Okay.
And get a little weird, but it's hard to meet people who
it is hard. Yes.
who are cool.
Okay, Venus and Aries express. That's what you said too. Venus and Aries, yeah.
No, Mercury.
Mercury.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. Where's Mercury? Hold on, stand by. Mercury in Aries makes for a quick and assertive mind. Thoughts are in words come fast with little hesitation. Communication is direct and often blunt, favoring action over deliberation. These individuals may excel in debates, but can overlook nuance or diplomacy. Like, I'd say it's like a 50-50 just based on what I know about you. Like, you're definitely, you're not like a hard extremist when it comes to communication or ideas. You're very open. Like, this is again, describes more somebody who's like an asshole, like, type A, like me, more like where I'm like, no, this is what it is. No, and that's definitely not you, right? So I don't know.
It's gotta be. Oh yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, she has Saturn in Aries.
Yeah, Saturn in Aries.
I was just thinking about that. I'm like, I wonder what Saturn's.
Okay, Teresa, you got to tell us if this is right, though. And be honest. Don't try to make ChatGPT look good. Like, if some of it's right, some of it's not. You got to be honest. Okay. Saturn in Aries brings tension between duty and independence. These individuals may feel blocked when trying to assert themselves or take initiative. Often due to early life restrictions, over time, they learn to channel discipline into confident self-leadership. So while you're thinking about that, I'm going to do mine, which is what? The moon.
Yeah.
Okay. Moon in Aries indicates emotional intensity and a need for personal freedom. Feelings arise quickly and passionately, often without filters. There's a strong desire for independence in close relationships, and emotional reactions may be impulsive or fiery. For maybe that described me when I was a teenager, like I didn't have control over my emotions, but like what teenager does.
I didn't. Oh my God, no.
And I'm Irish, which means, like I got in fights and stuff. Okay.
But same.
Yeah. So like some of that, I don't think that we could blame Moon and Aries. I'm not a psychopath. I feel emotions. Okay. I cry at commercials if there's cute animals, or like the one with the gorilla. She sees her little baby gorilla's not dead. Yes, I will sob like a little girl, but for the most part, I'm not very emotional. I'm just not this person. So it doesn't describe me. Maybe there's little things in there. And I think this is the case with a lot of Western descriptions. Like it's like half and half. Like, yeah, some of it, but then the other half, you're like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. But
yeah. And I'll even go deeper and look at rulerships too. I'll be like, okay, if all this is in the 9th house and Jupiter is supposed to rule the 9th house, what's Jupiter doing? And I dug deep into that. I actually have a good friend I'm meeting with on Sunday, and I'm really excited because she has never had a reading before. She's never done anything like this before. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm going to ask you so many questions because it's like a fresh palette, fresh canvas, somebody who's, I don't think she reads horoscopes, to be honest with you.
Okay.
So I'm just so excited. It's like a case study.
Yeah. Mermaids Wear Hats has Moon at the base of the head of Ketis. So did that, so we kind of have ours in the same spot. Does that make sense? Teresa said somewhat true when I was younger, but not as much now. Right.
Yeah. I think we all have a lot of time to work with that energy. I mean, I'm in my, I'm halfway done with life, right? I mean, 80, 90s usually when we're done. So I'm halfway there. So I'm like, okay, I've done a pretty good job trying to get these energies under control. And some of the stuff I've read, I'm like, it might have been me back when I was like 16, 17. But you get that, Saturn return and you're 30 and, it's time to check in and see what, see what's actually happening. You've experienced all of the zodiac signs, and it's like a nice little check-in, in my opinion. we get a hold of ourselves and try to get back on track a little bit better around that time. And yeah. Whew. We're like, I gotta get my shit together. Yeah, it's usually around that time.
Let's do
interesting.
Taurus. Yeah, Taurus. Since we're Sun's in Taurus, we might as well do Taurus.
Yeah.
What do you got in Taurus? Anything?
I got Venus and Taurus.
All right, let's see. Anybody out there, if you have something in Taurus, let us know and we'll take a look at it. Venus in Taurus is in its home sign, highlighting a love of sensual pleasures, harmony, and loyalty. These individuals value stability in relationships. Who doesn't love stability in relationships, for God's sakes? And it's aesthetics in their environment. I personally like it when the house looks like a crack house. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. Okay.
I am a snob when it comes to where I work, though. Like, I have to work at a pretty place.
That's not one of the things that it says. And I would imagine that might have more to do with energetic flow than being a snob, but that's my take on it. Okay. They can be very affectionate and devoted, but also possessive or resistant to change. I mean,
that might be true.
Maybe, I guess. Yeah. Do I have anything in Taurus? I don't know. I don't know offhand. I'm afraid to bring it up because I don't want to screen.
To look. I know.
Hold on, let me see. I don't think I do. Stand by.
I mean, if I really truly am my Venus and Taurus, I think, because like anybody else, I mean, I would love to just lay around in the field all day and eat grass.
I don't want to do that.
Like I could just chill all the time. I mean, I probably would. I would get a little bored, but I don't know. I'm constantly on the go. I'm constantly doing things and I constantly am busy. And there's times where I fantasize like it would be nice to be a cow, just hanging out, letting the sun hit you, just fucking hitting the flies off you with your tail.
No, I don't. Well, I mean, occasionally lying in the sun, sure, but I would get bored. I'd have to go do other stuff too. Let's see here. Mermaids, wears hats. Yes, I'm pretty reactive. Okay. Also Taurus rising. That wasn't one of the sign options. I'll check that one in a second.
Yeah.
I'll pull up the rising signs. Tara says, I have Jupiter retrograde in Taurus. Well, just Jupiter in Taurus generally is going to be expands. The first word is expands. Oh my God.
That's your favorite. That's our favorite. Yeah.
Expands material abundance and a love of life's pleasures. These individuals often attract wealth or security through patience and persistence. There's a strong value system centered around loyalty, beauty, and comfort though overindulgence can be a challenge. So Tara, you'll have to let us know if that's true. And then Sidereal Astrology. I don't know. Sounds Russian. Let me see. Where are we at? What did I say? Mars in Taurus. Okay. Yeah. Mars in Taurus is slow to act, but once it commits, it's relentless. Energy is applied steadily toward practical goals. Physical stamina is high, though initial motivation may lag. This placement can be stubborn, favoring comfort and routine over risk and spontaneity. It makes everybody sound lazy and indecisive.
It does. I mean, deep down inside, I really do want to be lazy, but I know I can't. I just cannot be lazy.
Are you sure that's not you're pushing yourself hard and you want to break sometimes?
Yeah, that's got to be it. Because
I don't think you don't seem lazy to me. You work like every single day. You never stop. You don't strike me as lazy, Niki. See, I don't know.
Oh no, but I want to be so bad.
That's being exhausted and wanting a break. That's not the same thing.
Is that what that is?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what that is. Okay.
Now, rising signs for, what do we do? Aries
Taurus.
And Taurus. Okay, let's try that. Let me see here. Who had a Taurus rising?
Swedish, yeah. Who had the Taurus?
Mermaids Wear Hats has Taurus rising. All right, let's see. Taurus rising. Taurus rising individuals exude calm, steadiness, and sensuality. They tend to move in speak slowly and deliberately like I'm doing now, giving the impression of being grounded and reliable. Their appearance often has a natural beauty or sturdiness with pleasant facial features. I don't know how they can make that claim.
Oh my God.
Beauty's subjective, and like, is this only white people? Like what?
I
like,
wanted to bring this up actually. I found a book that was about the ascendant. And they're trying to guess what you look like based
I don't
on
think
your
you can.
ascendant.
I don't think it's doable.
It pisses me off because I'm like, well, I'm trying to learn here. Like, I don't want to learn about what they look like. You can't see that in a chart. You can't see their sexual orientation. You can't see if they're a boy or a girl. You can't see what their religious affiliations are. Like, there's just certain things that you can't see in a chart. And I'm telling you, you can't see if they have curly hair. It's big because they're a Leo rising. You know, what the hell?
Yeah, I don't think so
Weird.
either. So pleasant facial features and a solid physical frame. They prefer stability over change and may resist being rushed. Others see them as dependable, serene, and strong-willed, though sometimes stubborn or hard to motivate quickly. Comfort, nature, and aesthetics are key themes in how they interact with the world.
You know, they really aren't talking about at all how hardworking Taurus is. They go after a lot of cool stuff. Like,
it's all they're lazy and can't make decisions.
Yeah. I know a lot of different people who are their sons in Taurus, and they have multiple businesses. They are constantly, making money and connections and socializing, and just, I definitely am seeing a pattern here with the laziness and the...
Yeah, Tara Farmer said, I can't say any of that resonated any more than it might for anyone else. Right, like there's... Yeah,
that's so true.
Sidereal Astrology, or I don't know if you say astrology, but like in Russian, it's astrology. I am not lazy, but I stop and smell the flowers. Okay.
Yes, I love that.
Okay. Yeah, the lazy thing with Taurus, that gets to me. That really gets on my nerves. I can't stand it. It's why I think it's one of the dumbest things. And it's very easy to see where it comes from, which is the association with Greek Aphrodite, who was, very decadent and she just wanted to lay around and eat.
Yeah, she was just the goddess of love. That was it. Like, she just wanted to love you,
but fluffy ditzy love, not real love. It was like very superficial and stuff, and that got put onto Taurus through the random Greek association. And so now Taurus has all these lazy traits that don't make any sense, honestly. Mermaids Wear Hat says, I do have a grounded and sturdy presence until I snap. Lol. I have a hard time with change, and I'm very willful, so a lot of it seems right to me. Okay.
Yeah, right. I do have a hard time with change too. I mean, I suppose.
Who likes change? Who's like, yes, I just want a new job every other day.
Oh my God, right?
Like there are certain things, like nobody likes change. Yeah. I guess some people do. They like to change up their look and whatever. But I wouldn't look at that superficially. If there's somebody like that, are they just very creative? Are they artistic? Or do they have identity issues? Like there's other reasons behind this very superficial stuff that, they throw out there for everyone.
Yeah, the Greek Aphrodite is really what has been really kind of making me mad. I'm like, oh, that's not her. That's just a little minor, tiny little part of her. Like, and I get it. She is a benefic. She usually, when she shows up, things usually mellow out and things are okay because everyone's like, cool.
With Venus?
Well, it happened with when she entered Pisces.
I think that's because she's in Pisces, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess we'll see what happens when she enters.
She can be rough in Taurus. She really can. I think she gets. That's when she wears the beard.
Yeah, I could get that. Yeah, it takes a lot to piss me off. It really does. Like I could get mad. I'll fly off the handle, but it's usually just words, and I'm like, okay, we'll get through this. But like usually it's something really, like, you really have to be on, like, disloyal or really burn me really burn me bad to get me going. So I try to keep it like, cool. I'm just cool. aren't you cool? I'm cool. Like, it's usually the attitude I bring to the function.
Right.
But I don't know. The whole lazy thing, you're right. It just keeps repeating over and over in every sign. Like,
Yep.
oh, they're some of the most hardworking people. Isn't it
Yeah.
like an earth sign? Aren't all the earth signs hardworking? Is Virgo the only one they give that? Like, Virgo's the only one they give that to?
I just know that Taurus is lazy, supposedly, and I don't see it. I've never seen it. And I
Actually,
think
I don't see it either.
I think we'd have to define what we really mean by lazy. Humans are not designed to just work all day long. You look at any hunter-gatherer tribe culture, like they're mostly relaxing, conserving their energy throughout the day. And then they expend that in bursts when they're hunting or, taking care of babies or, making some food or whatever. But it's very, they're very mellow and relaxed. So just to say like somebody doesn't want to work 40 hours a week, I don't think makes them lazy or like they want to play video games or like escape from the like misery of life. I wouldn't call that lazy either. So I think, I don't know, like I reject that concept.
Yeah.
Depending on the situation,
I think that they can be creative and come up with solutions and shortcuts.
They're super creative. Yeah,
that get them what they want, and it may appear that they didn't have to work very hard to get it, but I mean, like for example, my realtor, she doesn't know that she's a Taurus. Okay, she's like, no, I'm a Gemini. That's why I'm so social. And I'm like, no, you're a Taurus because you're really good with contracts. You're really good with like all of the home stuff. I mean, I don't know her chart or anything, but I mean, when it comes down to sun signs, it's like so obvious. And she works 24/7. I mean, she doesn't stop.
That probably is Taurus. They work a lot. They're very they what is the word I would use? Like it's about self-sacrifice. They like learning, reading. Sometimes though, a strong Taurus will learn too much and then they don't know what to do with the information. They can get stuck in like that loop of like just learning. But no, they're very like powerful energies, and I feel bad that they've been written off like just lazy douchebags for the last years.
Oh Christ, look what they've said about Gemini though. Gemini is so two-faced, and it's like it's so funny because all these people are following tropical astrology and they're like, Geminis cheat. I was like, well, like actually they're Taurus sun people, not even Gemini people that you're talking about. So like, first of all, it's weird. You can't take that information and use it because it's not even put in the correct context.
Let's do Gemini. Let's see what kind of goofy stuff comes up.
We've got some really cool stuff happening in Gemini this week too. Like Jupiter's moving into Gemini and so's Mercury. And they're going to be along with the sun squaring the lunar nodes. So there's a lot going on there this week.
I'll pull it up. Sidereal Astrology says yes, creative, manifest stuff easily. Oh yeah, very creative. All right, so who's got what in Gemini? Do I have anything? You guys, how do I not know? I have a midheaven. That's about it.
I don't know what I don't have anything in Gemini. No, thank God.
Anybody out there?
My progressed Venus is in Gemini right now.
Does that count? We'll count it. Yeah, we'll look at it.
Yeah, why not?
All right, progressed Venus. We'll just look at regular Venus. Venus in Gemini loves with words, wit, and curiosity. These individuals are charming, flirtatious, and drawn to partners who stimulate their minds and who want to rub lotion on the skin at the beach. They crave novelty and may resist emotional heaviness or routines in love. You don't seem that way at all to me, by the way. I mean, I don't know, but I feel like you stuck it out for 25 years. That doesn't seem like you need novelty in the relationship. Communication is key in relationships, which it should be in every relationship. And affection is shown through playful banter, which you did admit to. You definitely did.
Yeah.
Alva has in Gemini. Jalevi has moon in the last degrees of Gemini. We'll check it out. Mermaids Wear Hats says, I definitely get stuck in learning loops and freeze up because I get overwhelmed with it all. Yeah, I'm telling you guys, that's that mind power. That's really, if I had to put something down, I would say Taurus is really about the mind. I don't think it's about, I really think that that's the dominant energy in there. So it's like taking that raw creativity from Aries, and now it's trying to do something with it, plus like feed it and fuel it. And I think that that's where that comes. Seventh house Gemini, we'd have to, I don't know, we can check that out too, but I have issues with the house systems. I think they're very inaccurate, so I don't know. But we'll see. Let's start with Ija Levy. I hope I'm there. One Gillette, I'm not sure. Moon in the last degrees of Gemini. Let's see. Now it's cuspy, so I don't know how close we'll get to it anyways. What do we got here? Mercury rules Gemini and is exceptionally strong here. This placement indicates a fast, agile mind that thrives on learning, multitasking, and expressing ideas. Communication.
What
did I say? Mercury?
Mercury. Yeah. No, that, yeah.
Sorry, it was Moon. My bad. Moon and Gemini. Moon and Gemini. The Moon in Gemini seeks emotional stimulation through communication and ideas. Feelings are processed intellectually, often verbalized rather than deeply felt. These individuals are witty, expressive, and emotionally restless, needing novelty and interaction to feel secure. They may struggle with emotional detachment or overthinking feelings. So you'll have to let us know, Ija Levy. Alva has Venus in Gemini. Let's see, what do we have? Venus in Gemini loves with words. It's the same one you have, right, Nikki? Loves his words, curiosity, charming, flirtatious, and all of that. So you'll have to let us know if that's the case. Seventh house Gemini. I didn't do the houses, but I hesitate to, because now we're getting into a whole new ball of wax where the houses, you guys, listen. Okay, so I'm going to explain this while everybody's typing their responses in the chat. The houses are based on, the meanings are based on the planetary rulerships. So again, looking at Venus got associated with Taurus out of nowhere. And that Taurus association actually took on all of those Aphrodite traits, basically the laziness and whatnot. And because she was their version of Venus was very materialistic, it got associated with money, with wealth, and with like all that material abundance and stuff. And so the second house is associated with money. It comes directly from a little bit because of the elements too, with like the earth element, and that's like materiality and whatnot. So the seventh house, help me out, Nikki.
That's Libra, which I think is really
also
weird too.
That's not Venus. What did Libra get?
Libra did get Venus. Yeah.
You got Venus too?
Yeah, okay. Libra got Venus too.
So Libra is going to get a lot of the it's basically going to be the same thing, but then it comes with some of the air traits, which is much more mind oriented, right? Do I need to pull up a screenshot? Do I need to do this today, or do we remember it from last week? Or I'll pull it up. Hold on, let me grab it. It's just easier to explain. Yes.
Yeah, the weird rulership. We talked about last week how Venus, you can find Venus in every single one of the signs. You can find Mercury in every single one of those signs. And those are the inner planets. I mean, how we actually think and feel, and how we integrate that into like our identity and our ego, right along with the moon, and how we express those emotions. So I feel like those two planets are so important, and we just kind of graze over them. Like we talk about Saturn a lot and Jupiter a lot, but
okay, we can see this, right?
Yes.
Okay. So if you don't know, and this is taken from my course, if you guys are interested, it's on my website and stuff. But basically what happened was, they started out with Leo and Cancer because they were the two brightest constellations in the sky, like in the brightest time of the year. That's not what I meant. Hold on, let me try again. They rose during the hottest and brightest time of the year in the summer months. And so they associated these two constellations with the brightest luminaries in the sky, the sun and the moon. Then they went through and they just divided it in half and just associated the planet with whatever was over here. The Greeks were really big on trying to dissect and codify, classify all aspects of existence. And so they got like, they were very, very rigid in their ideas. They did the same thing. They started with, well, it doesn't really matter where they started. They have fire, earth, air, water, fire, earth, air, water. As you see, it just systematically goes around. Same thing with cardinal, fixed, mutable, cardinal, fixed, mutable. And these became the meanings of the constellations, completely erasing whatever came before them. So for here we do Libra, we have air, cardinal, and Venus. Yes, it did end up being Venus. So it's a little bit more, so for whatever reason, they say that air is like not able to make decisions. It's like very wishy-washy and it doesn't know. And so that's where we get these ideas that Libras can't, like they avoid confrontation and they don't, they don't want to hurt anybody's feelings and stuff like that. And there might be some truth to it, but I don't think it's because of the random association. But let me see here. Hold on. Share the screen.
Yeah,
go back to
associations do appear very random, and I wonder the actual history behind it, because it's kind of convoluted when you look at all the different books and what everyone has said, how they ended up getting all of their rulerships and placements, and it came into question just reading about Virgo, because a lot of people feel like Ceres would be a great ruler for Virgo. And I'm like, well, I kind of like Mercury. I kind of really like Mercury
I think,
but whatever, if you use it or not, I mean, it's still, you can still take these planets and apply them as a ruler and get information out of it. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think just saying one is the rule, this is the ruler for this and that, it just kind of puts you into a box and you don't get to explore reading what it means and the different layers of the chart. I
agree.
You've been preaching the entire time, so.
Yes, I 100% agree. Ija Levy says somewhat accurate, which is what we would expect. That's how they've all been, somewhat accurate. Sidereal Astrology says, if you don't have any planet in the constellation, does that mean that the energy will not affect you in some way?
Oh, no.
What do you got to take on that, Nikki?
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't have any planets in Gemini. Okay. And when Mars went through Gemini, my brain was just all over the place. It was in a bunch of different connections and directions. I mean, I couldn't get my shit together, man. I was really trying hard to, I was having trouble sleeping, and I was like, well, is it because it's, in this house, or is it because of this or that? I mean, it's connected to mental activity. So, I mean, you get transits through there. You have oppositions with these constellations. The entire thing is always working. The entire zodiac circle is always working like an engine, and it's got constant movement. I mean, we haven't really talked a lot about like the electric universe, but I mean, we know that energy affects us. We know that the moon affects the tides of the ocean and the animals. And now we're finding out trees can, set off signals before big events and eclipses and things like that happen. So we know that we don't need science to tell us what the mystics have been saying the entire time. So yeah, just because you don't have a planet there doesn't mean it's not working. That doesn't mean that that energy isn't in polarity with a different energy, working in your chart. Oh, it's always going, guys. It's a never ending moving engine.
I agree with that. So the way I look at it, it's like everyone, the zodiac, how it's laid out, whether you want to do 12 signs or 18 signs, any number in there, it's all a reflection of you in different areas of your body, your life, past, present, future, whatever. The planets, when they move through these places, or if you have specific like midpoints or whatever it may be, I look at it like these are activators, and they're going in and they're doing something specific to that type of energy. So to give you an example, let's say just an easy one, Pisces relates to your psychic ability, your spiritual like your higher spiritual energies, okay? And I'm generalizing grossly. I know that's very new age and woo, and I apologize, but just for the sake of this conversation. So you get something that moves in there, like right now, and this is very general too, because we're looking at it for the whole world, all 8 billion people or 9 billion or whatever it is now. So Saturn moves into Pisces. If Saturn is like the material world, your focus on your body, your health, your survival here, your ability to thrive, achieve, a financial independence, whatever it may be. It's moving in and it's activating this Piscean energy, the spiritual energy. And now we have this union between the maybe what we would consider lower physical material energies with the higher spiritual side. And it's basically there to help you take advantage, but you're not like missing Pisces energy. All of these things are a part of you. They're all just, laid out. He's not here to defend himself, but we've had this conversation many times. But talking about Friar Pezel, he's not. It seems like he's not. We talked about planetary energies before, and he's fine working with the planetary energies, but it's when you apply them to the constellations, he's like, no, that doesn't make any sense. Like, these things are inside of you. And the point of the astrology is it's like you're taking all that internal energy and you're putting it out on a sphere, and you're just looking at it from a slightly different angle. But it's all you. Like, you have all of these traits. That's why some of the more generalized stuff is kind of hard to say, because we all nobody likes change. Nobody wants to, be cheated on in a relationship.
Oh yeah, everybody wants to be comfortable. And just,
like there's stuff that we all want.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no kidding.
Now there are some traits that do not go like from person to person. Some people hate confrontation and will avoid it at all costs, while others run headfirst into it. Because I don't know, it's Sagittarius. I think that's a big part of it. I'm not 100%. Yeah. There's things that will make you do that. What are some of the other things? Some people love challenges. Some like going to the gym or playing like academic, intellectual challenges. Some people love to read and research. Some people hate it. They want to just
some people are natural born leaders too. They'll just take a whole, like, from kids, they'd love to be in control of it all.
Yes. So those are the things. Looking at the chart, it will tell you, but you really do. We're even kind of being disingenuous here, because you do got to look at the whole chart, because you could have some of these traits and they could be coming from one place. They could be counteracting each other, so it's hard without looking at somebody's entire chart to just, isolate it like this. So
looking at this, I totally wish they wouldn't have changed the Scorpion's claws to scales. Don't you think it would have just been so much better without it?
Yeah.
I don't get the whole change. When did they change it? It was like it was the Greeks, right? The Greeks or the Romans, one of those two.
No, I don't.
Did it change before that?
That's a great question. I actually think it's gone back and forth a handful of times. So to put the exact time frame on it, I don't know. At some point, probably during the Mesopotamian astrology period, scales were synonymous with the Scorpion's claws anyways. Like, it's in the Babylonian Amana lore. They refer to both scales and Scorpion's claws at the same time. So it was definitely it was definitely happening already.
Okay.
But they were just associated with merchants. So but that's the thing. The scales weren't about, in a modern context, somehow, again, probably because of the whole Venus air association, but it got associated with just perfectly just balance. We just want to balance things out.
Oh my God. I can't. Not. That's just like the Jupiter expansion thing. It's the Libra balance thing that I'm like, have you met one? Have you met one? Sometimes they are really out of balance and they're really struggling.
Well, it's and it's fine. Well, it was definitely about financial transactions, but it is the marketplace. It was in the Mesopotamian system. And that can be, you can have people who are in that environment who are very shrewd, very discerning. They know exactly what they want. They're going to go after it. You have other people who vacillate, they don't know what they're doing. And so, but to say everybody with strong Libra is all of a sudden, just non-confrontational and stuff.
Yeah. No, I think that people in Libra, and just probably goes for everybody. They like things to be fair, things to be neutral and cool like everybody
doesn't?
else, and they'll try extra hard to make sure like everybody's pleased. That's the only like thing I've noticed about Libra is almost like a people pleasing. But I have that, and like
do you have anything in Libra?
I don't have anything in Libra. It's like my third house, but I'm still like, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that out. I have the hardest time making decisions, you guys. I can't make a decision to like save my life sometimes.
Okay, well then you should have, based on what we just talked about, you should have like something going on in Libra, but you're saying you don't, right? Like none of the big ones?
No,
okay.
Zero planets there.
And you have stuff in Aries, which according to like the traditional thing, it's supposed to be you're supposed to just be making all these not empathic. Oh God, what's the word? Impulsive decisions. Yeah. And it sounds like that's not really your thing either. So no. I would say again, when I look to indecision, I look to Taurus because they have too much information. They don't know what to do with it, and they want to keep getting the information. And so they're like, well, it's that analysis paralysis. I think that's where it comes from, but that's
no, I like that. I think I definitely like that.
Ija Levy says Moon in Gemini, Mercury on Spica in Virgo, more logically oriented. Did we talk about Moon in Gemini? I think we did, didn't we?
A little bit, yeah.
Sidereal Astrology says they go for what they want and are not afraid of saying what they have in their mind. Which one is that? Because we've talked about a lot of stuff. I'm not disagreeing or agreeing because I don't remember which that was relate to, but remind me, refresh my memory. Well, that makes me curious now. Let's look at Libra. Let's look at some Libra stuff. If you guys are up for it, let's do it, right? Okay, now let's do the same for Libra. Do I have stuff in Libra? I don't know. I don't know my own chart, you guys.
My daughter has her Venus in Libra, and it's close to her south node. And my God, I look in her chart a lot because I'm like, you got to have like some Aries something. Like, well, because she's just hit a point in her life where she just doesn't care. Like she was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go after everybody who wronged me. And she'll just like send him a message like, so I can't repeat it. Like, I know I swear, but the things that she says, I'm like even like if my jaw drops at the things she's saying, like, then you know that it's wild. She's wild. She'll tell somebody off. She doesn't care. I was
interesting.
Like, you better be careful because somebody could like want to, like, I don't know, kick your ass or something. And she's like, I don't care. What the hell are they going to do about it? Like,
what's she have in Sagittarius?
Oh my gosh. I don't know.
You got to send me your chart sometime.
Yeah, I will.
I'll look at it.
But this girl like is just so fearless and she just channels like, so I come from a family of crazy females. Okay. Like just absolute batshit nuts. Don't dare us to do anything because we'll do it and we'll do it like 10 times over your head. It's just insane. And she's channeling it. And I'm like, oh, I thought this died when Aunt Anne died. Like I thought.
But how old is she?
She's 22.
Okay. Well, I was still scrapping back then, you know.
Oh yeah. Yeah, she is. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
but she's not a scrapper. Like she's not a fighter. But she uses words like.
Well, verbally, verbally. I think it counts.
She can verbally assault anybody and be good at it too. I'm like, how do you come up with this stuff? Oh, she had her own Pluto Venus square moment when she found out her boyfriend was sleeping with somebody else. So that exploded this weekend as well too. And she was not afraid to tell this guy off, not afraid to say some of the most outlandish shit I've ever heard in my life. And I'm like, wow, like you're insane. I love it. I absolutely love it. I take joy in the fact that she's able to stand up for herself and say,
that's
hey,
good.
You know what? I'm not going to put up with this and I'm coming after you. But she really is obsessed with this guy. So I don't know why she keeps going back to him.
Send me there could be a karmic thing. Send me your chart.
Yeah, it could be. I will. I'll have to send it to you because she's nuts. I love her. I love her.
Sidereal Astrology said they go for what they want, are not afraid of saying what they have in their mind. And that was in relation to Libra, and that's what I was talking about. Like, that goes totally against the common associations. So, but I agree. I think that's definitely one of the things they can do. Ija Levy said strong Libra here, and I'm at the end of Virgo. So, Ija Levy, where do you fall on the Libra side? Are you wishy-washy, can't make decisions, don't want to hurt anybody's feelings? Or are you more like go after what you want on the side? It'd be interesting to hear. Let me see here. What were we doing? Oh,
yeah, I've always viewed Libra as like the sunny side up Scorpio. You get deeper into Scorpio, and the feelings, the emotions, those people tend to be a little bit more internal. Like my other daughter's got a lot of placements in Scorpio. I mean, she is just scorpionic beyond, and that's another reason why I knew something was up with the tropical zodiac, because my oldest daughter, according to tropical, is a Scorpio. This girl is like straight up Virgo, nothing like dark, sinister, like the books are all saying, you know, are you kidding? She's just so helpful and so incredibly like dedicated to service to her family, her friends. I mean, she'll sacrifice just about anything to help you out.
Well, I think Scorpio has those. I think Scorpio
has those traits too. But that's not what happened with my youngest daughter. My youngest daughter isn't like that at all. She's very intense, but I mean, it is her placements. She has her sun, Mercury, Mars, and I think even her moon are all there in Scorpio. So she's a whole lot of it.
Which side of Scorpio?
The head side, the anterior side, not the Ophiuchus side, although her Pluto is in Ophiuchus.
Okay.
Right on the galactic center. She's one of those that generation. So
interesting.
But she's the total opposite. I mean, almost like you're dealing with not Wednesday Addams, because she's not, you know, she's not like a goth girl or anything, but I mean, very serious. Her emotions are really like she's analyzing you, like she's picking you apart. Like she's kind of, mirroring you. And she's just a psychological warfare genius. Like, and even in her young age, she's only gonna be 17. I'm like, I don't know. You can't fight with her. That stinger comes out and she just says some things that you're like, how in the fuck did you come up with that now? Like, wow. Like, because she's watching, she's analyzing, and she's got all of she knows all of your secrets without you even like telling them, like, because she's watching your emotions, how you react. She's like literally like a oh my God, I don't even know. She's just like talented in that area of life that I'm not. So, but completely different. You know, they're just completely different people. I'm not saying like Scorpio is always associated with like the Wednesday Addams type, you know, but she is a lot more serious than my other daughter. So,
well,
I don't know. I'm still trying to figure these people out. You know?
Yeah,
I got the rest of my life.
You can have twins that are born only like 10 minutes apart and have, you know, wide differences, like in their personalities and their goals.
Yeah,
and
very,
and everything.
Very secretive. You know, she's just very secretive, but she's also an eighth house, you know, all of that stuff. So, yeah, she's likes to keep to herself and doesn't like anybody knowing what she's got going on. And yeah, very different from my Virgo daughter, who doesn't care, who will tell you off and then offer to help you with something, I guess, later. I don't know. She's weird.
So honest. It sounds like she's honest.
She's very, very. What else do we got going on?
Well, hold on. We gotta do these other ones. Levy said strong Libra here at the end of Virgo, and then introspective, don't like to confront, but will if necessary. Love to be at home tending small farm and earthy. Yes, some of that too. Like, again, this is where I wouldn't rule that out from the Libra. It doesn't sound Libra-y. It sounds more on the Virgo side, but that western half of Virgo on the the eastern side of Spica, like there's overlap in there for sure with Virgo and Spica. So, and I think some of that home stuff, that the Virgo one, and we talked about this last week, we talk about it all the time, is actually pretty similar to what's going on. And like they have a lot of overlap.
Yeah, Virgo actually used to be two different goddesses, didn't it? At one time, it was two different goddesses.
They were the same one. It was like her, but in two different forms. But it's the same. It was basically the same one.
Yeah.
Do you want to? We went into detail this past week about the forecast and stuff. Do you want to look at the forecast?
Yeah. What do we got? Well, we covered most of the major stuff, like Mars moving into Leo. That was actually that's been Mars and Uranus are in a aspecting. They're square. Uranus is square Mars. Sorry. I was just kind of looking at my notes.
While you're looking, Mermaids Wear Hat says, I have twins and they are very different. Didn't you say that the vertex has something to do with that? It can for sure. Now, I'm not the expert in this because I've only had a handful of twins to be able to look at both charts and actually, evaluate what's going on. People have said that if you look between the midheaven and the Imam Chayli, so it's going to split your chart in half, what happens is one twin ends up being one side and one being the other. Now, I can't verify this. I have tested it out. It does kind of seem to work, in which case that would equate or like explain why some of them can be so different. But I think this is an area that needs more, like we need more case studies. We need to, that's one of the things, if I'm doing a reading and I know somebody's like they're twins, I won't say like, okay, this is what you can expect. I would actually ask them because I'm still in the data gathering process. So,
yeah, that is super interesting. And we don't have a lot of data gathered for just sidereal placements. You look at history and you look at all the books that have ever been written, and it's always in tropical. And I can't read that. I read it and I'm like, well, that's wrong. Okay, first of all, we know Uranus wasn't in that spot at that time. And it makes it the whole thing inaccurate, and you just can't digest it. Yeah. I'm looking forward to definitely seeing a lot more, sidereal material being published.
Heck yeah.
All right. Yeah. So Mars has been getting aspected, squared with Uranus anyway. So I think it's helpful tension. I think Uranus just kind of gives Mars a little bit more of that extra oomph. I like Uranus. I've been loving Uranus in Taurus. I have Uranus over my natal Venus right now. And, I've just been loving the changes. I feel like they've been really good introductions to change. And that's actually a transit that I could totally 5-star, I think. But no, going back to just the square aspect between Uranus, he's like the heavy player, the guy who's like, I want change and reform, and has a bit of a rebellious nature. So him pushing on Mars, could definitely you could definitely, I don't know, feel it. I mean, you could take risks, take a little bit more risks and get a little bit more creative. You could have a little bit more, create more opportunities for yourself. I don't know. I like Uranus contacts. I don't feel like they've been, they're nothing like the Pluto squares at all. And I'm grateful. Let's just put it that way. What else do we have going on? So like Sun and Mercury and Jupiter, they're all squaring the lunar nodes. And that creates some, challenges, and that creates some kind of tension. And it's really cool, because we have, like Saturn and Neptune conjunct, with that North Node too. So it adds like a little extra flavor to it. Jupiter and Mercury together, I mean, that's always I always think that's good. I mean, we can learn some more things. I've signed up for some new courses. I want to check out some new stuff. We could be more information driven. We could, reevaluate what it is we are learning, or life path. This transit collectively too could affect, with being square with Saturn and Neptune too. I mean, collectively we could see something, financial, or something develop governmental wise. But I mean, those are ongoing. Those will never stop. But I mean, we could just see something, develop there with that square. But yeah, sorry. But yeah, those usually create tension. It usually creates some kind of challenge, and you usually have to, make some sort of decision and hope, with the sun there, it's really not that bad. It's really like, okay, how do I want to integrate, this into my life? How do I, what kind of path am I going to be taking next? And when we have Jupiter moving into a new sign, we get some new ideas, we get some new revelations, and things tend to just fall into place after that. I like Jupiter in Gemini. I feel like it's pretty social. My social batteries seem to be doing a lot better than what they were, probably 2 months ago.
Some of that, Nikki, if I could say, so I have found Uranus to be a partnership planet. You said that Uranus was on top of your natal Venus, which means it's probably you've been feeling this for a little while, but that's a partnership that can be both in like the personal and professional world. It doesn't have to be romantic partnerships.
Yeah, I've made a lot of different connections, and totally have grown into a bunch of different groups. And totally. I totally agree with that. Oh yeah, it's not just romantic relationships.
Right.
A lot of it's, work related, and yeah, totally. Yeah, I agree with that.
I have found Jupiter to be, so when I look for big changes in a chart, Jupiter is usually the one that I will look for just as a catch over. Like it does seem to initiate a lot of changes. Now, this is not going to be for individuals per se, but as Jupiter moves through this void portion of the sky, especially right over here, over the true shepherd of Anu, now known as Orion. This is a constellation. This is one of the original Sumerian constellations, and this is related to justice. Now, because this is going to, affect the entire world, this can be a time of, what do we say? Kind of bringing things to a head as far as global conflict and or corruption or war and things like that are concerned. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying it totally solves all the problems. Clearly, there are wars that go well beyond, one transit of Venus through this part of the sky. But I do think that this can bring a lot of bullshit to light.
Yeah, the new information coming through. Yep, rediscovering or discovering new things that are
definitely.
That aren't amazing and great.
Right. But good to get it out there and
yeah. Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, go.
No, you're absolutely right. It's good to get it out there and good to have that kind of exposure. And I think that's what we've been seeing. And it's kind of been one thing after another in the headlines in my country. So, I mean, at this point, I think with the collective, when we're like, well, we're just not surprised anymore. Whatever comes out, it's, going to be crazy. Whatever it is, it always is absolutely batshit. And then for some reason, it just kind of gets glazed over, and we just wait for the next thing. And then we wait for the next thing. So I don't know. I'm kind of thinking that the square is going to definitely introduce some challenges, and I've noticed
with the nodes.
Yeah, with the nodes and with Saturn Neptune conjunction is just wild. You have this. We've just seen reality become something completely different. When they started getting closer together in their conjunction, I had people coming to me and asking me like, the hell's going on? Like reality just doesn't even seem real. Nothing seems real anymore. And then they go off on the whole like matrix tangent, which I mean, I get it. Like obviously we're plugged into something weird we don't understand. Are we dreaming? I mean, we could be.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. You know, but I Neptune is also more than just that boundless, like spiritual, you know, planet they give all of those attributes to. I mean, I feel like it's a lot of psychic communication, a lot of psychic energy. You meet a lot of people who are super duper in tune to the universe, and they have prominent Neptune placements. So I think Saturn being there is more like a guide. Yeah, we're going to see some breakdowns of some, you know, structures and traditions that weren't necessarily benefiting anybody. You know, if it's not benefiting the collective anymore, it's going to get washed away. And I think we're seeing that with all sorts of different things, even in our own little industry here, where we're taking a look at, you know, the way astrology has been practiced for, you know, forever since, and seeing the way the tradition has gone and how it's totally gotten away from using the real sky. I mean, so it just reflects another one of those issues where, you know, all the rest of the issues that we have with tradition that don't necessarily apply to anybody, but like a small group or small niche of people. So like, it's time for old traditions to go away. I mean, they're going to, whether you like it or not, it's all going to get washed out. So we have that kind of energy, you know, squaring our thoughts, you know, our beliefs, our identities, and how we integrate all of that. So, I mean, we're going to just reassess and rethink things. And we're going to decide, you know, is this the path I want to take, or do I want to keep doing this forever? I mean, it's usually about those squares. It's like you said, going to the gym. You know, there's a little tension, there's a little stress, but it's nothing making, you know, a new choice, new decision won't actually cure. Because I don't know how many people I talk to all the time that don't want to make any changes. They like everything the way it is, but they'll never do anything about their problems, but they have the same problems all the time. So this would be a good time to reassess, reevaluate, and like, where am I holding myself back with my beliefs? Where am I holding myself back? What kind of old, you know, traditions, old like bullshit am I holding on to that I need to let go if I want to embrace the future? If I want a new future, what am I going to do to get it? Am I going to do the same thing I've been doing over and over and over again? These are just energetic opportunities to change direction a little bit. It's not like the tell all be all, like, you know, like, oh my God, we have a square coming up with the nodes with these planets. So like, it's insidious and you have to make choices or else. Like, it's not like that. You're just presented with it, you know? So you're going to see these energies pop up. However that pops up for you in your life, you know?
Agreed.
But yeah.
Yes.
A little tension, and that'll happen this week, but I think we're going to see it collectively too. You know, you have that Jupiter Saturn contact. They were conjunct during, you know, COVID lockdown. You know, that we continue to see when they become aspected in that way, that there's a lot more volatility in the collective governments and world issues.
Which one was that?
Jupiter Saturn.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
Yeah.
You mean it didn't expand something?
Oh, yeah. The bullshit. It expanded the bullshit. Sorry. No. Yeah. It did. I mean, yeah, I would have to go back and look at you know, what was going on at that time, but I don't want to re-traumatize myself.
Right.
Or anything else.
Right.
Because we're just trying to push through it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's this like expectations versus reality issues that we've had to deal with, I think, as those Saturn and Neptune have come together. We've had to really take a cold, hard look at our lives and the paths that we're on, and how is this going to lead us into the future that we want? And is the future that we want even like, can it even happen? There's some people out there chasing it. Like, I just met a woman who's like, I got a 2-year plan. I'm going to open up a business that actually helps people. And she wants to, basically open up like a metaphysical store, or spa, whatever, but a place where you can go and meditate, get actual help, somebody can talk to you about your energy and treat you like you're a real person. She works in like, she works with, in some government office somewhere, helping people where they help disabilities and they're on disability. And she goes, they just medicate them. They don't do anything else. They just medicate them, shuffle them around from one, therapist to the next therapist. And no therapist is actually really helping you because their hands are tied because of insurance or whatever the reasons. But I love seeing and meeting people like that who are planning for the future. And how can I heal people? How can I bring my best qualities to the world and change the world? And I think a lot of people are on that boat, like not even just about themselves. They're making it about other people. And I love to see that because it's that same Piscean, like sacrificing nature. Like, how can I help? How can I help? I'll do anything to help. And it's usually a spiritual route behind it. There's usually something there that isn't necessarily religious, but, really calls to the human heart. So,
on
your heartstrings.
Yeah.
I think with that square too, I mean, like you could see, expect like market fluctuations possibly, or even just like new information coming in. What if like I was just thinking like, what if like hackers, came out and were like, oh, you talk about information and all the stuff that they've been stealing lately. I'm like, well, good for them. I know, like, good for them. They're really doing it, because there isn't a lot of rebellious, there are a lot of rebels out there that, rob from the rich to give to the poor. I'm not saying hackers, do that.
Right.
But,
I got you.
But I get their mentality, the whole, like, the system, like, and I'm probably, they probably got my information, who knows? I might get totally like, I might regret saying all of this later if like my identity gets swiped or something. But there's like that, a little bit inside of me that's like, yeah, go rebels. Go. So, I mean, I just imagine that. I mean, I don't know if that's real, but we have been seeing a lot more breaches of information, like, and we don't ever really know about it until like, I don't know. It's so funny because the news, they're just a big propaganda machine. How many times have we heard a brand new story and they're like, this breaking news? And that shit actually happened months ago. We've had people come out of the woodwork, who worked in the government who have said that. Like, actually, that wasn't new. That happened like last year and I was there. And so, I mean, it's going to get wild, guys, when it comes to the collective energies. We're already seeing it. We've got military parades planned. We've got all of these crazy like things going on that just seem like they shouldn't be this, outlandish. Like, you'd think we would get a grip on things, pretty soon. But, I don't know. It's the bigger picture, guys. We have to take a look at the bigger picture. I think a lot more people are seeing that. I can only go off of what I know. I meet a lot of people. Like yesterday, I met this guy who sat there for like 30 minutes, almost 40 minutes, just talking to me about politics. And I'm just smiling and laughing because he kind of mirrored a lot of my own thoughts on it. And I think a lot more people are waking up to the fact that the system that we have here in my country isn't working, and there's a lot of distraction and there's a lot of collusion. There's a lot of payoffs and there's a lot of, been a lot of me first in that area, of the collective in my country. So, we're exposing a lot of awful things about our leaders and our leadership. And now it's just getting to the point where they're not even hiding it anymore. They're just really flagrant and open with it. What happened with the, stock markets here was absolutely terrible with the tariff threats and everything, because it literally wiped people's 401ks out. It wiped out their retirements. But guess who was able to gather up all of that and buy all this, more billionaires? So they just got richer, even just off the threats of tariffs. There's a lot of imbalance going on. And that's another thing. We have our moon's nodes moving. And I think they've already moved. The south node into Leo, the north node into Aquarius. All of these social issues are going to be coming up. If they aren't already in your circle, they're going to be coming up, and it's going to get hot. I think people are getting hot and hot-headed, and they're seeing all of this like abuse of leadership and all these other abuses, and they're just, I don't know, man, they're getting fired up. People are not happy. So I don't want to go off on a rant about that kind of stuff, but
I mean, it's affected by the energy.
It's looking a little like, hey, this might be setting up for something a little bit challenging coming up in the future here. So, I'm not a freak like, oh my God, go make sure you're stocked up on all your canned goods and all of that stuff. Like, I don't do that.
I don't think there's anything wrong with stocking up on your canned goods.
There isn't. I'm not fear mongering at all, but I just do believe, and I feel it in my bones, that something very odd and very not like cool is developing. And I'm not alone. There's a lot of different people out there, strangers I've met, and they find me and ask me. I'm like, well, I don't know what's going to happen, but I know that it's going to be challenging. So just be prepared or whatever. And I'm sure it's financial. I'm almost positive it's going to be financial.
I mean,
when it comes to war stuff like that, but I don't know. I mean, we could see something happen to the US dollar. I mean, it may not be worth the paper it's printed on anymore. I mean, we don't know.
It's already not, but like,
don't tell anybody.
But it's not. But anybody who knows anything about economics understands that it's actually not anymore. It's not. It's just based on faith.
Slipping back in 2010 when we had rappers investing in euros, and they were talking about Jay-Z and being like one of the richest like entertainers, and how he's invested in euros and all of this other and not American dollars. People were freaking out, and that was back then. So there's insider information, and there's like, that kind of weirded me out. So I knew something was developing, and
here's the thing. Whatever, I personally am of the opinion that we could wake up tomorrow in a completely different timeline, and one where Payless Shoe Store is in fact Payless Shoe Store and not Payless Shoe Stores. I think that we can jump timelines and go to something better and more positive at any given time. But the U.S. is weaponizing the dollar. Everybody's bailing on it. They're all, everybody's buying gold again, because it's not like, you don't have a currency if it's not backed by anything tangible. And the U.S. dollar isn't. It's all, it's only a matter of time. But it's happened to other countries, and they eventually, correct course. So it's nothing's permanent, even if stuff does collapse. Like, it's not a permanent situation. There's no need to panic. Everybody just needs to just make sure you and your family are taken care of. You have like basic supplies and whatnot. You don't got to stress about. I don't think we came here to just live in fear and be stressed out. I mean, bad stuff. Like, we could get hit by an asteroid, tomorrow. We would never know. And completely wipe out all life on Earth. So, like, why stress about those things?
Oh yeah, it's the end of the world for somebody every single day.
Every
single day. I think this is more related to the materialism of
I agree.
Yeah, materialism is kind of really taken over, and consumerism, and it's monetized. I mean, everything, every joy you've ever had is monetized here. Like things that you can go to any other country and enjoy your life. But if you want to do that here in America, it's going to cost you about $150 a day. Okay.
Yeah.
It's going to cost you money to enjoy yourself.
I don't know how you guys do it.
I don't know how I do it either. We medicate. We're so grateful to have the pharmaceutical company right there. Just, commercials, every other commercial. Ask your doctor about this drug because you need it. We just convinced you need it. So there's so much going on that's so wrong. Yeah. I can't figure it out. I'm like, okay, who runs?
People are waking up to it though. People are waking up to it.
They are. And I'm not saying pharmaceuticals are bad. I happen to, I think pharmaceuticals are great, but what the hell has happened to modern medicine? I'd love to get back to root cause medicine. I mean, they treat holistic doctors like they're just nuts and crazy. And like, they can't give you drugs though. You need drugs. Like, yeah, I like drugs, but not the ones that give you like brain zaps and like make you absolutely mental later. And you can't like think or anything. Actually, I was trying to think about the drug they wanted to put me on. I was like, what was the name of it? I was talking with somebody about it, and it was Cymbalta. And some people take Cymbalta and they absolutely love it, and they can take it for the rest of their lives, and they don't have any issues. I took a similar drug to that when I started having these issues, and I was the most loopy, out of touch person you have ever met. I was at work. They asked me to leave. They're like, you can't be here acting like that. I'm like, completely out of my mind. And I don't.
When they were, and I'm going to butcher this, but when they were trying to get Prozac on the market, they did the placebo, the double-blind study, and compared to the placebo. Okay, so the placebo worked 80% of the time. So like literally a sugar pill, they told them like, you're taking this, this medicine for depression, and 80% of the people got better. Yeah. So, additionally, like they're still trying to figure out, like when a lot of those SSRIs came out, like when they were really starting to push them, they didn't understand gut health like at all. And it's now starting to come out that, it's actually dietary, because your gut plays a very large role in production of serotonin. And it's a disaster. It's absolutely a disaster.
And, oh my God. And food here is a disaster. You know what? I had to do my own research. Like I have my own health issues. They were so severe. I was crippled on my couch, unable to do anything. And I like, take this pill or else. And I'm a root cause person. I'm like, I want to know what's doing it. I remember sitting there Googling it, and I got these, this medical, it's published to all like the medical peers. It was one of those peer group like papers, and they'd done a study on a group of people, and they took, oh God, I can't remember the number. They took a lot of people, and half of them had celiac issues. The other half didn't, but they all had fibromyalgia. And that's what they were telling me I had. They're like, it's incurable. You have fibromyalgia. You're just always going to have this. Take this pill. I'm like, no. I read this study, and what they did was they put these people on diets. They put them on gluten-free diets. And within a year, everybody's fibromyalgia had gone completely into remission. And I'm one of them. I'm not crippled on the couch anymore. I had to completely change my diet. I cut out wheat, dairy, eggs. I mean, anything that triggered it, I am cutting it out. So there's definitely something wrong with the food. There's definitely something wrong with GMO, stuff. They lied. They lied to you guys.
Yeah, I know. I've told people when I came to Russia, within 2 weeks, all of my I thought I was just crazy. I thought I was a crazy person. I had a severe panic disorder. I could barely drive a car. Like I didn't leave my house for like 7 years. I mean, I had to go some places sometimes, but it was a nightmare. And when I came here, after, like, it took about 2 weeks, which is the same if you're getting on like a new medication or something or coming off of it. There's about a 2 week span where you really start to, like, it takes you to notice the difference. No more problems. No more problems. And every time I go back to the United States, it takes another 2 weeks. I start to feel just real sketchy and like, what's wrong with me? I don't understand. I'm so happy all the time. Like, what is this? Dr. Ken Berry, who is a proponent of carnivore diet, he has made this claim, and I agree with him because I've experienced it and I've seen the changes in other people too. But he says, like, you're not, all of you don't realize how much of your emotions, your mental health, your mental state, your vitality, it's strictly related to your diet. And when you eat poison, it messes with your mind and your emotions, and you're not you. So you're like a medicated version of you. Even if you're not taking medication, you don't realize like how much actually is in the meat. Actually, when I'm in the United States, I can't eat beef because the beef there has hormones in it, and I'm not. We don't have those here, and I get real depressed and like wigged out. I can eat the pork, but they have rules because pigs are so close, like genetically to humans. You can't use the same hormones and stuff on them. It's like a federal law. But it makes a huge difference.
I do get sick when I eat ground beef. I still have it sitting in my freezer. I don't get sick, but I get really tired. I get really like, I can't do it. Yeah. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
The amount of drugs that we have in our food, fast food is everywhere. And everybody I know eats quick. They eat out. It's all industrial. It's all industrialized, guys.
It's industrial waste.
Basically, there's drugs in the food. They've done studies. They had a doctor come out after COVID, and because there was that big chicken sandwich thing, like who has the best chicken sandwich? Is it Chick-fil-A? Is it, the other guy?
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, it was a thing here. And this dude comes out and he's like, I'm watching these cars go, through the Chick-fil-A line. He's a doctor, he's a smart man. And he's like, there's no chicken sandwich that's that good, So he went and he picked up the food and he got it tested. And then he found there's like 14, 16, 18 different drugs in these chicken sandwiches. This food is full of drugs. It doesn't, there's no nutrition. There's no nutritional value. You're hungry an hour later. Why? Because there's shit in your food, and people continue to eat it because they're like, well, what else am I supposed to do? What else am I supposed to eat? Like, I don't know. Like, if we all got on the same page, then maybe we could change things. If we're not buying it, then they aren't going to make it. That's
well, some of those chemicals are addictive.
Yeah, they're depressing and they're depressive and they're just not, you don't even know what you're eating. That's the thing. And a lot of people don't. Like, I was talking with a gentleman yesterday and he has the same problems I have. And I go, oh, did you quit eating wheat? And he was like, oh, no, that doesn't work. He's like, and then he's talking about beef and he's talking about eating from McDonald's. And I'm like, well, that's not even real food. No. Like, of course your stomach hurts. Like, of course your intestines aren't like processing things, right? Because it's not even real food. Like, what are we talking about here? But nobody's willing to change their diet. Nobody's willing to eat differently. That food doesn't affect me that way. That that's the thing I always hear from everybody is, oh, that might happen to you, but that's not happening to me. They're all puffy and you can see it.
And they do it. They've been living with it for so long. They don't realize how good they would feel if they quit eating that stuff, but it's hard. There are addictive chemicals and it's really hard to get away from that. Mermaids Wear Head says, I've had horrible side effects with every antidepressant I've ever tried. They're garbage.
Same.
Trish Farrell 78 said, I read a study today how your partner's mental health issues can be transferred to you through saliva. The imbalance in their flora negatively impacts your microbiome, making it similar to theirs. That's really interesting. There was, I don't know if you heard about it. There was this guy, there's been a few reported cases of it, but this guy was having like paranoid delusions and his girlfriend started having them too, but they tested him and there was like no carbon monoxide issue, but they were like, she was hearing the exact same voice as everything, and there was like nothing there. And they said it was some sort of like shared, like basically a psychosomatic thing where she started getting his hallucinations too. But I'm wondering if it's if that's what it was. It was maybe like a shared
yeah, dude, getting the ick is real. Like chicks talk about that. Like I got the
What
ick
is it?
for my.
What's that?
Oh, you haven't heard of that?
I live under a rock, Nikki.
Oh,
Or
well,
Russia.
no, it's actually kind of not new, but like it's just
Like cooties? Is that what you're talking about?
yeah,
Cooties?
like
maybe?
your partner, that you're with your partner, and all of a sudden you get the ick. All of a sudden you get that feeling like we're not compatible, or they smell off.
Oh,
Ick, you know? And
yeah. Well,
and,
that's
you know, something's off.
that's
But
possible. Yeah.
yeah.
I just never heard it referred to that.
Oh yeah, they call it the
I
ick.
think that I thought that was you get that feeling when like all of a sudden your significant other gets into like CP or something, and like you're like, oh, so I get a creepy vibe. They murdered somebody. I didn't realize it was like a biological chemical something, but I can totally see it was. Trish says, I'm ketovore right now. I should probably chill on the dairy, but I love cheese so much. I love milk. I love milk. I don't care what anybody said. They're like, oh, it's bad for you, clogs. No, I don't care. I love it. I'll just drink cold milk all day if that's all I can do. Dude, free love ain't free, and you need to be careful who you exchange your energy with. Absolutely.
Yes.
We need neon signs everywhere on the street because these younger people just do not get it. They're hooking up with anyone or everyone in.
Oh my God, I know that. There's Pluto and Scorpio, Jen. They're just searching for that like sexual like healing or something, and they're not finding it anywhere. Like, yeah, they're weird. I love it. Yeah. They have the craziest stories. I'm like, just tell us. Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty sensitive, so I don't know. I remember getting like with my partner. I remember the first time I was like, this motherfucker. Oh, okay.
That's a creep vibe?
Yeah. And it was so apparently very, very clear. So like it's real. I think that's real. I mean, as somebody who's had a partner for 20 years, I could definitely tell you like, but that's why I studied astrology, because I'm like, well, what's mine and what belongs to somebody else, you know, and being like the empathic person I am, it took a long time for me to realize a lot of the stuff I carried wasn't mine. It was actually, you know, my partners or, you know, my coworkers or, you know, whoever I had really close with me at the time. So, you know, it's kind of weird, but at this, you know, you're like, do I trust this? Oh yeah. And you get out of that environment and you're like, wow, none of that was me. Thank God. You know?
Yeah.
Like, whoo, like I'm not crazy.
Yeah. I've had those
same things. Yeah. Same
sure did.
Yeah, it's weird because, you know, we're also taught not to trust our instincts, you know, trust the science. Like, I don't know how many times I had to hear that during COVID, and everyone's all of a sudden a scientist. And I'm like, nobody's weirded out by any of the, you know, events that led up to this. Nobody's like looking at the events that have led to this moment. You know? Right. Where it's, you need to take this or else. Like that got freaky. And I don't know where people stand on it, but so I don't really have a stance on it. I was going through very awful health issues at the time, so I didn't want to take their magic shot. And I didn't. I just won't. And that too got swept under the rug. You know how that affected people. So
it's still affecting people. They call it long COVID.
Oh, that's what they call it now.
Yep. It's a vaccine injury.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
That sucks. That sucks.
Can't be sued for.
Trish said, Dr. Ken Berry said that onions and garlic rot in your gut, and I'm just like, try and take my onions, garlic, mushrooms for my steak, and you're gonna get bit. I need to read into this. You know what though? Okay, so
that is like my holy grail. Are you kidding? Onions, garlic, like salt, pepper.
My first long stretch of carnivore, when I started to like, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna venture back in slowly. I had a little bit of onion. I put a little bit of minced onion, and sure enough, my knees started to hurt after that. Now, when you're on carnivore, you have like no pain. You feel amazing. You don't fart at all, never. So like if you do, you're like, whoa, what just happened? Like your gut is awesome. It feels amazing. So like you really notice those tiny little things. And after carnivore, the first long stretch I did, I could not eat garlic anymore. It just tasted nasty to me. It was, and I loved garlic. I smelled like garlic most of my life because I loved garlic and ate it so much. Same thing, green onions. I can't eat green onions now. Peppers, like sweet peppers, I don't know. Like I used to love them, and like stuff tastes weird after carnivore, but nothing feels better than carnivore. If anybody, you guys are out there, please at least try it because it's amazing.
Yeah, I agree.
It's
I
great.
really do. And when I'm on long stretches of just meat, like I'm fine. I am the best I've ever been. Onions though, dude, that's why my kids make fun of me. Cause like if I eat onions,
smell
I'll
like
smell
grilled
like
onions.
it. Like I can't stop. I'm like, I'll even put deodorant on. Like I washed my armpits, okay? And I could still smell onion
I'm with you.
yesterday when I was at work. And I'm like, is that me? Is that me? And I keep like checking. I'm like, I don't know, man. I think it's me. And it drives me nuts.
It might not be the onions though. It was the onions.
Oh yeah, I loaded up. I had loaded everything up with like onions, garlic, salt, like all of it. So I was like, damn it, because I eat a lot of potatoes. Like that's my carbs is potatoes. So I'll put all that on potatoes too, like potatoes. Mushrooms, and yeah, I fry them up. I'll not fry them, but yeah, I roast them in the oven, get all oily, and just it tastes like restaurant quality, man. I'm a good cook.
I believe you.
Yeah. I eat well. That's why I don't understand. Like my family freaked out when I changed how I eat because I wasn't making meatloafs anymore. And, these giant like spaghetti dishes. I mean, they were freaking out. And I think I eat really, really well. I was trying to get them to do the same thing, but, obviously they weren't on board. They were like, no, we want Chick-fil-A. We want Popeyes.
It's mouth pleasure.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like it.
I don't even crave it.
I used to like Wendy's, but their meat was pretty much just meat. So I did like some Wendy's once in a while, but I don't know.
I miss cheese curds. I'll daydream about eating like fried cheese curds. I'm like, oh my God. Fucking hits me right in my life.
You know what that is, Nikki? Your body wants more fat. It wants more fat and protein.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah. I'm going to try it.
Trish said my cellulite dissolve. Oh, wait. First, Trish said, I respect him, Dr. Kinberry, but I need to look into myself. Yeah, he's very strict too. I'm not going to just take his word. And everybody's body's different. That's important too. Yeah, I did strict carnivore for a year. I lost 65 pounds and my inflammation, eczema, dandruff, insulin resistance, bloat, gas, etc. went away. Oh, it's amazing.
Oh my God. Yeah.
My cellulite dissolved. And by the way, I lost 65 pounds and wasn't working out and wasn't even tracking calories regularly. Oh yeah, it's amazing. Yeah. It's the best. It's absolutely the best.
Just cutting out wheat, dairy, all of it. Like I reversed all of my symptoms. Everything that I had problems with were practically gone. I still get flare-ups and I still have like weird issues that I'm trying to figure out, but it's so incredibly minor compared to where I was. People don't even recognize me anymore. They're like, holy shit, like you aged backwards. How did you do that? I'm like, well, you're dehydrated, first of all. Yeah. Yeah, right. I quit eating poison. People get offended though when you talk you tell them.
But they gotta hear it because they know. If they're getting offended, it's because they know you're saying something that's true.
Yeah.
But this is why like dietary stuff has such a huge immediate impact on people. That's why it's my go-to thing if something's amiss is not what's going on in the sky. It's what did I eat yesterday?
Yeah.
What,
I love you for that, because there's been times I'm like crying about something. I was like, I had to go fucking look at where the moon was. And you're like, Nikki, what did you eat? And I probably 90% of the time never told you I was bad. I ate something bad, but I would be like, oh my God, you're right. Maybe it was that granola. Maybe I should have eaten that. Maybe it was this or that. Or I did try a couple French fries again just to see if it was really the French fries.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I loved your cheese story too. Huh? Do you remember?
It makes me want to murder.
Yeah.
Yep. Gotta be careful. Gotta be easy on
the cheese. You gotta be careful about what you eat. You really do. What you consume. Your content, your mind content, your body content. Make different choices. Come on, guys.
Yeah. We can all do it. Let's all.
We can do it. If I can, trust me, guys. If I can do it, anybody can do it. I'm pretty stuck in my ways, so.
Not according to ChatGPT's transit or associations. You're very easygoing and can't make up your mind and da 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 da. Yeah.
I'm a wild one.
Well, I had fun looking at those today. So
yeah, that was goofy. That was ChatGPT. Oh my God.
And everybody in the chat today, thank you so much. Sidereal Astrology, Ija Levy, who else we have? Mermaids Wear Hats, Trish Farrell 78. Elva was in here today, Terra Farmer. Thank you guys so much. It'd be a really boring show without you guys. So we're so glad that you are with us and stuck it out with us. And again, siderealinternational.org, right on the homepage, you will find the registration link. It's in the video description too. Definitely come to the register, come to the thing. You don't have to be there the whole day. It's like a 5-hour event, but like come and pick and choose the talks that you want to see, and it's interactive. So there's live Q&A after all the speakers, and it will be recorded. So and like there's watch it again later. There's a session too that's just interactive with the group, not the audience and everything. So definitely check that out. But we will be back next week, and you can learn more about Nikki at revolutionastrology.com. And you can learn about me at sumerianastrology.com. Well, not really me so much as like the readings and stuff I think that we do is probably a better way to put that. But we'll be here next week. So same time, same place, same great, amazing, life-changing, earth-shattering content just for you. So we'll see you then.